to that.
Hello, good evening. Welcome here to Current Situation Media, and also welcome to Diaspora Liberians Political Spotlight. And thank you for tuning in tonight. And we have our two analysts, and we are joined by Honorable Steve and Gabe. And we will be joined by Mr. Steve Bowling, who will be joining us pretty soon here. Welcome here, Honorable Gabe. How you doing?
Yes, I'm okay. Thank you for this platform today. We are back again. Yeah.
All right, folks. So let's go ahead and share this here. As you all know, this platform is still new. The platform is not new, but the page is new. So go ahead and share this here. Today we'll be discussing key political players that will be taking part in 2023 election in Liberia. So this platform, this show is called Diaspora Liberians Political Spotlight. The network is Current Situation Media, and we do operate within the scope of reporting, which is informing and interacting and entertaining. So, folks, we are live, and we have a lot to discuss tonight with our two analysts. So, for now, we are being joined by Mr. Steve and Gay. So, Mr. Gay, what's new?
Well, brother, the bad news. I think everything is on course. Today I was not well. I was at the hospital today, but I just have to come on the show because we have to provide direction for our people, especially those in the diaspora and those in Liberia.
Right.
And so I have to do my best. Although I'm not well, uh, not too strong, but I have to do my best to come on the show so that we can provide direction for our people when it comes to our national politics in Liberia and the way we analyze, the way forward. Yeah.
And I wish you a speedy recovery. You say you was in the hospital today?
Oh yeah, I brought on today. I spent a few hours there. I do a lot of checkup, but at least I have my treatment and I'm back home. I was not thinking about being here tonight because of uh, I was not well, but by the grace of God, I'm good. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
good. Yeah, yeah. We are
Thank
back to talk about our nation.
Yeah, we are back here to discuss about issues concerning Liberia. You know, we are Liberians and we will remain Liberians, and we have to identify ourselves as Liberians, and our voice matters, make difference,
Sure.
and our voice should be heard loud and clear. So I understand that you are not feeling well, but wish you a speedy recovery.
Sure.
And thank you once again for taking time off your busy schedule to be here. We appreciate that here. All right. So as we warm up here, and we also like to welcome our other analyst, Mr. Steve Bowling. So let me add him to the screen right now. And just a second, guys. So we're going to continue to share this here.
What's up, Honorable?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good to go.
I mean, what is going on?
Not bad, man. I was not too well today, but at least I bounced back to be on the show today.
My man, you always eating African shit. This shit you don't share with all. We will not get African shit all young.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, man, you be alone, so you adapting the people's system. We not just from back there. We still, you know, The spirit still. But man, you see how you feel looking wet more than my face?
And no, that man, he's a mulatto man already.
What?
So,
Oh, man, I told me already. Yeah, they'll
yeah,
be if they will bring it. They will bring the man. Y'all government and say, man, see, get on bring some Koung po yeah. That's good, man. It's good. Yeah, but it's good to be here. Actually, Steve, I'm happy to see you too. Yeah.
all right, gentlemen. So what I'm doing right now, I'm still sharing here. So go ahead and do that as well. We are sharing into people inbox. But tonight we have important discussion here to be discussed. And as our audience, our viewers join us here, and I would like for them to participate as well here. So we'll still continue the key discussion of key political players of 2023, and we would also talk about Jeremiah alignment with Prince Johnson. Will it lead to his presidency of 2023? And we will also discuss the recent statements from the deputy ambassador in Liberia. And also, we'll talk about other news. We see that there's an election that is coming on this Saturday in Nigeria. And Nigeria is Africa's most populated and popular country. Will be having the biggest and largest democratic elections with three leading candidates. So we will also dissect it and throw some light. But for now, gentlemen, and today is Thursday. What's the news? And then what's going on your end?
Well, there's a lot going on in terms of the news. But as always, I like to start off by referencing the Liberian people as the most important people on earth. That's what I believe. I don't know about other people, but I believe so. I also believe that the Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. And I want to challenge Mr. Gay to disprove that fact so that he can be in a situation he can handle with the Liberian women. I know he will not try that. He will have to agree with me. So these are some of the things that are unfolding on a daily basis. These are facts. But what happened in our country? There's a lot of things going on. Today, the United Nations voted unanimously. Almost all of the countries that are part of it, just to bring us to speed. I've been following with the international politics before we get to Liberian politics.
Yeah,
They
go ahead.
voted the anniversary of this whole war in Russia. They voted today unanimously that there should be Russia should stop basically the violence, in Ukraine. And so there were 145 countries that voted in favor of, and then 5 countries voted, you know, against. So, I mean, the number is too huge. So that petition or whatever will be presented to Russia, it would take immediate effect. Uh, Interestingly, Liberia is among the countries that voted, and they voted with the United Nations that the war in Ukraine should cease. So that's a good news for us as Liberians, and also our part of history. We also voted for Israel to become a nation, the Israel that we talk about. We were the country, as a matter of fact, that broke the tie. So we have a very strong tie, a very strong relationship internationally as Liberians. But unfortunately, locally today in Liberia, something strange happened. Uh, Gloria Scott, who was the former Chief Justice, former Senator for Maryland County, and also former Elections Commission. Apparently, sometime this morning, early this morning, her house was under attack by armed robbers, from what is reported in the news, and her daughter got killed in the process,
Sad.
and her other daughter got wounded. This is very concerning, very troubling in terms of the security. That these are things that can scare investors and other people. But these are some of the news that are on there. Unless my brother Steve has something else to add up to the news, so forth, or
Yeah,
you. But
yeah. Let me add up here. I just wanted to always stay in solidarity with Ukraine. Like you stated, today marks 1 year anniversary of the war, and even the United States president surprisingly visited Ukraine, and under heavy security by all Secret Service and other departments. And I was surprised to see him in Ukraine. That was very outstanding. He went to Poland. He did not even use Air Force One. Used a military plane. Went to Poland and visited Ukraine. The people of Ukraine, they were really surprised and they was excited. You know, Liberia staying with Ukraine. We do have a history. I remember doing the peacekeeping during the ceasefire. Some Ukraine forces, about 22 men, they went to Liberia to serve as peacekeeper. They provided air transportation, and they also provided other transportation while serving 14 months in Liberia. So when you said that Liberia was among those countries that signed that petition for the war to stop, for Putin to cease fire or pretty much withdraw from Ukraine. You know, Liberia has always extended a helping hand. And even in Des Moines, Iowa, there's an organization called Coffee FC extended the helping hands to the Ukrainian refugees in Poland. They raised about 2,500. So I think they did that because of our relationship with Ukraine and soldiers leaving Ukraine, during our war and went there to assist as peacekeepers. So for me personally, I stand with the people of Ukraine and I wish them well. I wish the war gets over. I wish our Parliament Putin pretty much adhere to other countries and to cease fire and withdraw from Ukraine. That's my thought on that, Steve.
Yeah. Okay, good. For me, nothing much. I think the same news. I've not followed any other news besides what we just been talking about in Liberia quite recently. It's so sad to have people continues to kill one another in the country, which is very bad enough, for our country and our society. And I mean, for me, I condemn it. It's not a good thing to do. If people just walk into your house and then just get rid of you, I mean, your daughter, and I don't know what it's for, but it's not good for our society. And I mean, I condemn it, and I pray that every Liberian we should condemn such an act, and we should not be able to go that route, especially a nation that is at the path of recovering from a 14 years of civil crisis and so many setbacks that affected our society for so many years, and we are still working on those process of recovering. What best we can do for our country right now is to start loving each other, and let us not take politics our enemyship, but let take politics to be constructive, while we all dream to move, the nation's forward, and not just getting people, because the person you kill today might be a blessing to somebody's life. And every human carry a grace, as if you look at biblically. So you may not know what the grace of another man is carrying, may be a help to you tomorrow. And so if you destroy the person, maybe the country might go one step backward, because maybe that person have a way forward and you take away his life. Even I'm here about a few times when I came to the US, my family continued to call me and tell me that people coming to the house overnight. And in fact, the last time my wife was showing me a video of my windows that they was trying to root up, but then the windows back is well protected because I have certain wire called the diamond wire, which is very, very protective. I mean, I built everything around the window. So I mean, you would just go around the house, you can't enter. You will fight, but you can't make it. So I mean, people live in prison now. Nowadays, you get your house, instead of being free. Look at US here. When you see iron bound somebody do here, people can even leave their house open and go to work and come back and just turn their door on and just get in. But it don't happen in Liberia. You build your house, you gotta put iron door, the same iron door to Saw Beach there. You gotta put some to your door, you gotta put some to your windows. And so there's no difference of being in Saw Beach than why even you live in your own house, because it just seems. So we have to graduate from this kind of attitude in our country and start hunting each other and going against each other. What best we can do is to love one another. Although we have differences, political differences, but our politics should be more constructive than being destructive. That's my take on this kind of news that are coming up from Liberia, actually.
Yeah, thank you very much. So let's dive into key political players. I know last week we discussed about the possibility of George Weah being re-elected, and we also discussed Joseph Boaka, and we discussed Alexander Comey and Tiawan Gongo. So let's move forward to this new player here. Let me go ahead and put him on the screen here. All right. So let's move to Jeremiah here. Do I have the right pictures on the screen, gentlemen? Want to make sure that I have the right picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So looking at Jeremiah affiliation with Prince Johnson, and what do you think? What is your perspective of him? Being elected as the next president, being aligned with Mr. Prince Johnson. We'll start with Steve Gay.
Okay. That's good. I know Mr. Bole will do most of the talking tonight because I'm not too well, but I'll have to be chipping in while we are going. I will also contribute my own ideas and analyze. But before I dive into Jeremiah Koung, and let me register this to our fellow listeners and those who follow in this broadcast that Mr. Bole and myself, we are not of different political party. We are not come on this show to be opposition against each other. We are analysts. As I always tell you, we come to provide you direction. So sometimes we feel we carry separate roles. Sometimes he take this side and I take this side, and then we debate those issues, and then it gives you a clear picture of exactly your decision you're going to make tomorrow nationally for our country. So we're discussing our country, and we will not be accepting, and I don't want to register this, that a lot of people will comment with insult, and when you are giving your point, the listeners will come on the screen with an insult and continue to insult. This is not where we come to campaign against each other. This is not where we come to fight each other. We are come to share ideas. So what I'm saying is different, the way you feel. Yeah, just give your point, and then that you think you can bring on board, that we all can discuss about it, instead of insulting me or insulting Mr. Bole, because Mr. Bole trying to do his best to come on the show at this time to discuss about our country and say, look, this is the way we can go. It doesn't mean that Mr. Bole is against anybody, but he's giving some analysis and what the best decisions that you think that can lead you through. Sometimes other people don't have direction. They just don't know what happened in Liberia. They don't know what is going on, and they are just indecisive. They don't know what to do. And so we come on the show to provide you all of these clarities and our view. So you have anything to say, come out and just share your view with us instead of coming with a wrinkler insult. I don't think the show is intended for that. And I'm not going to be responding to people who will give a wrinkler insult against each other here. But we pray that we just come to share ideas together. And you can also come up with ideas. Just post in your suggestion, put in your questions, and then we all go ahead to answer that. If you have an answer of something we are discussing, also you can just type your answer. And then we also going to accept, we're going to respect your view as a follower, as a listener. We respect your view, but you also have to respect our view. So I just want to register that. Mr. Bole, I just want to register that first before that we can go in. You got anything to say on that? Maybe if I can dive to what I have to say.
No, I'm good. I think you made it clear.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. And just to add up here, and folks, these are current situation media analysts. If you disagree with them, but you can be very constructive. Please, no profanity on this platform, and respect our guests. And we also respect our viewers because you guys are also participant of this interview. So that was well said there, Mr. Game. So go ahead, Jeremiah Combs, our guest backing from Prince Johnson, and your thought.
Okay, good question. You see, uh, it's terrible because allow me with Prince Johnson. I don't know what is the thought of Jeremiah Koung. Maybe it might be tribalism in the sense where I'm from Nima and he's from Nima, so we're gonna allow me and allow him together and make things work out. But let us all look at what is happening around an individual that you allow me with. It also play a pivotal role in your life or in your politics or in your political career if you allow me with people. You have to know who you are aligning with because there's a saying that says, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. And so we have fought 14 years of civil war in our country. And I think we at a point where we have to forgive each other. But don't mind, we are not forgetting what happened in this crisis. And it's not enough. We're not going to be sentimental on that, but it's the point that Prince Johnson, since he's been senator, he's someone who don't travel around the world. Now, let's look at his connections internationally. Because if you want to be a president of the country and somebody who is leading your campaign or who is making case for you have an issue with international community, have an issue with traveling around the world, who have some point, maybe not point, but who has also had issue with credibilities with the outside world, it also affects your career or your ambitions as a politician. Because just imagine when the president we are appointed Prince Johnson at the House was appointed or maybe voted upon to be a chairman on military affairs, right? On justice. Yeah. You saw the reaction from the American government. I mean, the rebutted that they will not work with him. So that threatened our security because we cannot do away with international community, especially the world superpower. And just by appointing the man on chairman of justice in the House in the international community, United Nations or American government will come and say, we cannot work with him. That simply tells you that if you, Jeremiah Koung, link with Prince Johnson, believing that he's Nima County godfather, which I believe he's feeling, I'm coming to that point, that definitely shows that Jeremiah Koung, you are shooting at your own legs. Because you have problems, you will start having international community trusting you. And so that's one point. Two, apart from international community, right now, the prestige of Prince Johnson in Lima is deteriorating. It's dropping gradually. Because I can listen to I listen to this guy, Zogwe. He's also a general in Nima who fought the same war with Prince Johnson. And he's someone that fought so hard in Nima County. Now with a press statement, having to be the council of elder of Nima County. Not just rebuking Prince Johnson's statement against President Weah, but also coming up with a long list of allegations, a long list of damaging story that talk about the number of people or the Liberians that Prince Johnson killed in Nima, for which Prince Johnson, at the time during the war, he's scared to even enter Nima. because of the number of people he killed. And those people were listed by Zokwe at the press statement. That went wild around the world. And so, coupled with the international community having problem with Prince Johnson, and the very Liberians who's supposed to be a backing to Prince Johnson are now giving him out. I use the word giving out because if they are saying that they will not support his action, in fact, he killed people he killed their brothers in Nima. So people have been misled by saying he delivered Nima County. And Zokwe said it's not truth. So I think Jeremiah Koung alignment with Prince Johnson would be he will be shooting at his legs. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for your input. Let's come here to Mr. Boley. So, Mr. Boley, looking at Prince Johnson having a very firm grip in Nima County, he's very popular, and despite his horrific human rights record from our 14-year civil war, but this is a popular man here, and Nima County being one of the populated county in Liberia. So, with Jeremiah Koung being aligned with him, backing him, how does that play in October? Would that hurt him or help him?
You mute yourself. You are mute.
First of all, thank you. First of all, the notion that Jeremiah Koung would win the elections and become president, that's practically impossible.
Why is it impossible? Let's pretty much dive into Jeremiah's background, then pretty much.
Yeah, so Jeremiah Koung, initially was a representative. He got elected as a senator in 2020. He was a representative from Nima County. Got elected as a senator. He's currently on the MDR ticket. The MDR is Prince Johnson's party, like we say in Liberia. Prince Johnson party. And now he's the standard bearer of the MDR. Now, but mind you, the Prince Johnson factor might play for Jeremiah Koung, maybe more likely so in the vice presidential seat as opposed to the presidential seat. Nima being one of the vote-rich county, as we will say, which is a fact. Most contestants would love to have their running mates either from Lofa, Nima, or Bon County. One of these counties, because of the hugely populated, dense population they have, they have the ability to attract more people in terms of voting, whether that's to go to first round or second round, whatever not. And so people gravitate towards them from a strategic standpoint or from a numerical standpoint. So Jeremiah Koung, as we speak, is mostly discussed now amongst the opposition political party, not as a presidential candidate to lead or ticket, but more so as a vice presidential candidate. And the fact of the matter is, should Jeremiah Koung run by himself and get to the second round, which I doubt he would get to the second round, he wouldn't be able to make it to the second round because his predecessor, Prince Johnson, has not been able to make it to the second round. He's ran for the presidency twice. He's not been able to make it to the second round. However, here is the scenario that would play out. He would use the playbook of Prince Johnson. Normally, they wait, they don't make it to the second round. Whoever gets to the second round that is able, according to the American government, based on the sanction, pay to play, that is able to pay more, they throw their support behind that person. So Jeremiah Koung's coming to the political limelight or trying to run for presidency, it's a mask. It's not actually him running for presidency. It's a business venture. That's what they want to do. It's a business venture. We've seen this before. This is, like people can say deja vu, or the American people, that's not the right way to say it. Deja vu. This is a deja vu. We've seen this before. We've seen it with Prince Johnson. This is exactly what's going to happen. So the issue of Jeremiah Koung becoming president, that's that in utopia he will become president. In an imaginary world, in delusion, he will become president. Not necessarily in Liberia, especially this time. It is not possible. It just cannot happen.
Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Like you just rightly put it, I think he's right. Like I just said before, shooting at his own legs, which is not possible. Because you see, in politics, it's important that you understand the field of play. And like you just said, one thing he said that I want to buy from him is that maybe for business purpose and the strategy of having a political party. A lot of people have political party like that. I don't know why they have to dream like that. Is that you have a political party and just your voice be heard, and then maybe the government come in power, you have to they will have to get you on board, or it's a means of getting a job in the country, and maybe driving through the political landscape of our country and not succeeding, but just be in the politics, and then you're making your money, and then the government come and like Queen doesn't played that game with Liberians for a couple of years. He's not going to be a president, but his idea is that I just going to be a senator of a political party, and then my county be a dancing populated county and vote rich county. So if I be a senator for the county, having been senator of the county, so people will just have to consult me. People will just have to give me some money, and maybe I will have a slot in the government that will win. And so let me just go into politics and pretending like I'm going to win. And you know that you would never win. And so this game we play with Prince Johnson, he began to play this kind of game especially when this guy Peter Gambe was appointed by George Weah as superintendent of Nima County. Who rebuked it was Prince Johnson. And that was the reason, because he want to be in the ring of power, and the agreement were if I can give you Nima County, and so I will give you Nima County, I will make sure that I turn Nima County over to you, but the stuff appointing local government and stuff going to be through me. That means you possess the county, and then you do your will over the people of the county. It means they don't have their own will. And this is what Liberians are graduating from at this stage. A lot of the Liberians are realizing that this time we like being played with. It means they don't have their own decision. They don't have their own decision. And then government that come in power, Prince Johnson appoint the person you want to appoint in government. That means you have to consult him. You had to go through his power. You got to go through his influence. So he set over the county, and then right through the process. So when Prince Johnson, you go through Prince Johnson, and then when you are appointed in government, perhaps you have to give him tip. Maybe you say, okay, I'm going to appoint you to this position, but this is why you'll be giving me at the end of the month. It's business purpose. I don't know if that's the same route, because if you're going to see party ticket, why would Jeremiah think that a political party that had no relevance, had never come third place in politics, you decide to go through that party to become a president of the country? That's a joke. Trust me. That's why I just agree with Steve Bullet that you're going to go into politics. I think I would prefer you work on your politics and work on yourself and go, instead of you saying Prince Johnson party and then thinking that let's look at, quote unquote, the ratio of voting in Liberia. Political party that has never come third place, that has not even come fourth place in politics. Then you say you're going to use it. You think you sure you're going to use it to become president? What? Why it's not coming third place? Is it because of just a single male Prince Johnson? Or because, okay, so if you go there as a senator now the people are going to vote you now, they're going to love you, to love the party. And a political party that I feel 2-3 times in Liberia, trust me, Liberian people they don't have interest in it already. No, nobody has interest in that political party anymore. This is why when you going, I come here, when you go into politics, make sure that you make it work. Make it work. Or else, after your first attempt, second attempt, third attempt, you don't. Just get out of politics because you can't try anything now to succeed. Nobody got interest in you anymore. So, and then, or the political party that Jeremiah Koung is joining now to become president of Liberia, as he said, then a political party that have never succeeded in anything. And coupled to that, you have someone who have international crisis or issues, and thinking that you can use his image to succeed. You're joking. I hope somebody from your camp will also listen to us and listen to the analysis we are making. We're not against Jeremiah Koung. Trust me, we are not against him. His visions, his interest might be good, but the process that we want to use to go into power, it's not going to work.
Well, guys, but Georgia once used Prince Johnson backing, based on the population of the Makante and Liberians, majority support Prince Johnson. And so maybe Jeremiah Koung is pretty much trying to go that same route. Your thoughts?
Well, I agree with you, and that's the irony and the hypocrisy sometimes I see from people, or I hear from people who support President George Weah. It's like in Labrador, we can say, you say you can't eat dog, but the dog soup, you can eat it. In other words, when they cook the dog, the soup from that dog.
But you're not eating meat.
But you can't eat the meat. But you can eat the soup with pepper soup, right?
But at least you
let it egg, right? You don't want to eat a chicken, but you want to eat an egg.
Yeah, so that's the hypocrisy. And sometimes we joke and we laugh with it, but it shows that we are not serious. To be quite honest, it shows that we are people that are not reliable. Because if you don't want something, or you don't, it's like the same thing with some people who support Joseph Boakai. They say they hate the Unity Party, but Joseph Boakai running on Unity Party ticket,
right?
But they support him. What sense does that make? You contradict yourself. You don't make any sense when you do that. If Joseph Boakai were running on a different ticket, then I would say that would make sense. But the man is running as a UPist on a Unity Party ticket. But you say you hate Erling. You say you hate Unity Party. Unity Party were corrupt. But you still supporting the Senate Barrel. So, I mean, where are we headed? So that the same thing we're doing with the Prince Johnson thing. George, we had worked with Prince Johnson to come to the presidency. Prince Johnson was now a rebel. He was now a killer. He was now serious at that time. Today, he doesn't want to support them because they seen George Weah did not meet up with part of the deal. Prince Johnson automatically is a rebel, is a killer and everything. Well, for 5 years, when Prince Johnson, they were going to see, according to Prince Johnson, they gave George Weah 300,000. They let TB Joshua. When Prince Johnson took him to TB Joshua's church, they were hanging around the market. They went, hey, you went that time, So this is the problem we have in our country, and so I can hear them making excuses and say, "Oh, politicians can be trusted." No, some politicians can be trusted. There are some people who the words are their bound. Some politicians can be trusted. It's just that we Liberians, we flip the issue of politics from it being something to benefit people. People have made it something that will benefit themselves. Politics, coming to politics at public office. You want to serve. You don't come there to enrich yourself. In Liberia, it's the easiest and the fastest way to enrich yourself. People with questionable characters and problems from the histories, these are the people that are leading our political, landscape, and that's why we are where we are today. And we have a long way to go. But with Jeremiah Koung, in all honesty, he will only serve maybe in the second round to really benefit or boost someone because of Nima County's vote. That is if the Nimarians finally open their eyes to want to do something for the county to benefit the county as opposed to continuously going the Prince Johnson's route.
Thank you. All right, guys, we'll continue to follow on Jeremiah Koung and see how far his political party goes and in this election. Politics is dynamics. Things can change. We still got more months ahead of us. So let's go ahead and talk about. Let me put this next candidate on the screen here. Let's talk about Lucina Kamara. Can you guys see him?
Yeah, Lucini Kamara.
Yeah. Let's talk about Lucina Kamara. Can someone give also, little background about him, his party and his chances of,
Well,
you know,
Lucini Kamara is actually from Ako. Ako, which some of the Liberian people have termed as the Mandingo Party.
yes.
But in all reality, Ako is not the Mandingo Party as some people assert it to be. That's not the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is ACO is one of the parties in Liberia, that has been around for a while. I remember during the 1997 election with Charles Taylor, ACO was a serious challenger, you know. But again, Loseni Kamara is a Muslim Mandingo from the Mandingo tribe in Liberia. And I think his chances. Now I think that's a good question. Uh, I would have prefer that the Mandingo tribe, which I believe is the most influential tribe in Liberia, and if they were to amalgamate forces, in other words, if they were to come together, they would be very forceful and influential, even more than the Malians or any other tribal group in Liberia. I believe so. And the reason I'm saying this is because this is the only tribe you can find in almost every county in Liberia. I'll say again, the Mandingo tribe is the only tribe you can find almost everywhere in Liberia and in almost every county. They've established themselves there. Imagine if they were to put themselves together. Just imagine. And just vote one ticket and not be divided. So over the years, the politicians of Liberia uh, have used them to benefit themselves, and then leave them alone and drop them down the line. For example, most recently when they went to seek a holiday, you had some of these pastors for the government to give them a holiday. You had some of these pastors who said that giving their holiday in the country, the groom men wore suits and ties, passed around and said, if they get holiday in the country, if they get Muslim holiday in the country or Mandingo holiday in the country, it will bring war in the country. Those pastors there, those men of God there, who are, Islamic phobic or, they got religious phobia, they're not confident in themselves, they're not even confident in God to do the work.
So,
Put
Mr.
themselves together. I'd
All right.
really wish they put themselves together. If they put themselves together, the chances would be high. But they're divided. They've been used by different political parties, different political actors. They infiltrate them easily with money and create confusion and so forth. And it stigmatize them and label them. And I think that's not good because they are Liberians. And, they're one of the group of Liberians, one of the tribes that have made humongous sacrifice for Liberia as well. So I think they deserve to, but his chances of winning is up to the Mandingo um, community, the Mandingo tribe, and so forth. If they can amalgamate forces and come together and stand behind the ACO, along with other Liberians who are not Mandingo who support ACO as well.
Just a follow up here before Mr. Steve Gay comes in here. So you mentioned they are scattered around the country here. They've been around for a while. They do have, population. But which counties they are most populated in? Do you know?
Well, I wouldn't use the word because the Mandingo tribe does not have a fixed county to say there is a county. So that's why I said earlier they can be found in almost all of the counties. Let's take, for example, in Lofa. In Lofa, the Mandingo tribe has a very huge, the Kwana Bonu. They have a very huge spot there. In Nima, they have a very huge spot as well. Bonkante, Magibi, Montserrato, Grand Basso. Anywhere you turn, they're there. But places that they're hugely populated in number. You look at Nima, most recently during Ellington when they had the house issue or the homes issue, where Eddie had to send Musa Ability and other people to put it together or to squash that. So they have a very huge representation in different counties, especially Lofa County. But again, one of the things I have noticed from a political standpoint, from a religious standpoint, you can count on the Mandingo and the Muslim community to be united. But from a political standpoint, they are easily divided, and that has been the problem.
Steve, your thought about
Yeah.
this Lucina Camara? What is his chances of being the next president? Does he have a huge base of constituents and supporters? Where is he going so far?
Okay, Lieutenant Kamara, I don't know where my brother are saying that they have a huge base in all of the county. There, I'm going to differ with him a little bit. For one part, Lieutenant Kamara is not a popular figure in Liberia. It's not he's popular in the midst of the Dingoes, most especially Musrado and Lofa. The rest of the Dingoes, they are in bits and pieces in those counties.
So which county does he reside in?
He's in Musrado.
All right.
Yeah, he's in Musrado. Musrado got a huge base of Mandingos, especially when you go to Ghannaville. The entire Ghannaville there, you have them. They are almost like dominating the entire place. And the reason why their population is growing in Liberia is that we don't have this the ideas. When Liberia was founded, the issue of citizenship was not something that was prioritized from the onset of the country, for the fundamental part of the country. So Dingoes, they are traders. They are people who travel from country to country and trading, doing markets and businesses. So most of them infiltrated, they came to Liberia, they based in Liberia, and beside those that were there before the independence of the country, from the Lofa side, from the Cayman, the Bapulu, that side, they are there. But the huge majority of the peoples are actually based in the Lofa County. And a lot of people have already entered our country. They are settled. Their children are going to school in Liberia. So in Liberia, look, let me tell you some fun. A man will come from Guinea to as soon as American say, you stupid. The men are Liberian now. So they make say you stupid. The first word they can learn, because the first thing they do in the car. When they want to learn when they can, they will be carbon. They will go on the old buses. So they will learn to interact with Liberians, try to know the money. And after 1 year, 2 years, they men are Liberian. They can speak English now. Forget it, he's a Liberian. And so that's how
you can hear that Liberian accent.
Yeah, that's how most of them are now becoming Liberian. They just, as soon as they come, they will go on the buses. When they bring them from Guinea, then they will be carbon on the buses and be the car loader or conductor in the for civil works, the conductor. They serve a conductor on the car. In fact, they will not even know the money good, they will not speak the English good. But after a few months and while they interacting with people, so now making confusion with people, they will start learning the voice little by little, and then before you make up your mind, they men are Liberian. And so that's how their populations is growing in Musrado. And like you said, I agree with you in the point where they are in bits and pieces. And the crisis. Yeah, I mean, the crisis that took place in Nima County or reduced the popularities in Nima between the Dingoes and the people in Nima County, because when they noticed that those days, the generation is changing, is growing gradually, and people's trying to understand, the way people trade and people get properties in Nima. So the Liberians felt that our parents, exchanged our land with sometimes intermarriage relations and all of that. So, and these people love the front view because the people love to do market. So the Liberians, they knew that, okay, we also understand business, and trust me, Nima now is like, if you read Ganto, like you are in a city more than Monrovia. It's a daybreak city, day and night. Ganto is body. So all along the road, you see stores there. It's not Dingoes, so Liberians. Some of them are crew people in different tribes, but most of the property owns and the stores that I own now in Nima are owned by the citizens of Nima County. And so they were mostly based in Ganto and Seketi. was their base in Second Pierre. But those in Second Pierre, those in Nima, when they rise against those people, most of them migrated from there. The majority of them migrated from Nima and they dropped by to bombing. Some of them came by to Morovia, and then the crisis began there. So they have a new number now in Nima. It's not as compared to before, as before, after the whole time and going on and on. But when Nimadians started to understand that these land that was sold to the people were not legit, was not something that was concrete, and so it brought the conflict between them. And like for example, they are not many in Lofa. They are not many in Maryland. They are not many in Riwaji. They are not many in Grand Bassa, as you may think. No, they have just the few numbers of group, just marketers. They are just there selling their goods, but to real stations and have strength would be Mosirado, Lofa, Kemau, and Bapolo. And so, and having Lucini Kamara coming up, going straight to president, for me, in my mind, they are thinking about getting to political power in Liberia. The first thing they have started with is that since they are now creeping to the Senate and the House of Representatives, that you are trying to at least align with a political party where they go as second, maybe vice president, and get in the power of presidency in the sense where you first of all go as vice president. But trust me, I've been around Liberia for a couple of years, and since I was born, I've been there. Liberian is not ready right now. Liberians are not ready right now to make Lucini Kamara a president of Liberia. That is a serious. And the reason is they were not. Trust me, they were not. So and the Dingo, the popularity of the Dingos in Liberia is not more than the citizens in Liberia. It's not as a citizen, but the different tribes in Liberia, they are more than the population of Dingos. So the different tribes in Liberia, we're not. They will not. Trust me. Yeah, see, you want to say something?
Yeah, so let's bring something into perspective, because it's important for us to have this conversation in context. The first thing I want to clarify is when I spoke earlier, I did speak about the populated areas where they are. The Mandingos are populated in Nima County as well. The three major tribes we can really speak of are the Mano, the Gio, and the Mandingos in Nima County. In Lofa, we have the Bandi, the Loma, the Kisi, and the Mandingos. Those four tribes are the four tribes over there. So places where they are densely populated, where there's a lot of them, where there are a lot of the Mandingo tribes. Yes, it's true that they don't have a set county. I wish and hope that they could have a county, but they are also spread all around the country. That is a fact. They are in almost every county in Liberia. You will find Mandingo person in almost every county in Liberia. And also another fact I wanted to provide to the public is this. You see, one of the things we've missed in history is we claim that our brothers and sisters who are Mandingos came to Liberia from Guinea, and they came later on and they started to learn tribe and they started to do trade. No, that is not true. That is not the truth of the matter. And when we say these things,
are they considered migrants or not?
No, they're not migrants. In fact, they are one of the original owners of Liberia.
Then why don't have a specific county?
No. So here's the thing. Here is what happened.
Some. If you use it, was some.
Right. Some of them did migrate. That's a fact.
Yeah,
we do have a border with Guinea right there, so it is possible that some of them could have migrated. That's a given fact. But I'm saying in terms of originality, the Mandingo tribe were among the very first 3 to 4 tribes that were in the country.
Definitely, which I agree.
And history is recorded. I don't know why people mix this thing. This is what it mix it with. This is where the problem lies. They mix the Mandingo tribe with the Muslim religion. Now, what happened is, over the years, people don't like to say these things, but we have to say it and educate the next generation and our people so that we can be abreast with information. What they have done over the years is they've isolated and alienated the Mandingo tribe only because most of them are Muslims. And that is a problem. Mm-hmm. That is a serious problem. That's why they don't count them, they don't see them as Liberians because of the Muslim trap. Remember, I said something that was important here. When the Liberian Mandingos, when the Mandingo trap,
So Steve,
the Muslim religion decided went to the yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Let me interrupt. So, are you saying that not all Mandingos belong to the Muslim religion?
No, not necessarily. Not all Mandingos are Muslim, and not all Muslims are Mandingos. So you see, that's where they mix this thing up. But again, it still comes back to religious phobia, and that's where we are stuck. We are stuck in this religious phobia, so we alienate and isolate. I was very disappointed. I was disappointed when I saw a group of pastors, people who carried name and title in Liberia, went to the House of Representatives and said, y'all can give these people holiday. If y'all give them holiday, it will bring war. So I went up on the air as well and said, if I were part of the Muslim religion or the Mandingo tribe, I will ask them to pack all the buses, all the cars, impact the economy, affect the economy, because this makes no sense. It's nonsensical. That's division. You are looking down on other people. You are discriminating against one group of people, and that's wrong. You are isolating and alienating people for no reason. And that's not the right thing to do. Liberia belongs to all of us. In fact, some of the Mandingo people are even original than some of the tribes that we have today. So, I mean, this is the problem we are faced with. Again, like I said, I would hope the Mandingo tribe would amalgamate forces. They will make a huge impact, because in terms of numbers, the Mandingo tribe does have the number in Liberia. Like it or not, if they will come together, like it or not, they have the numbers, because again, they are all across every county. Like the only tribe that is noted for being in every county in Liberia. And I rest my case on that.
Yeah, you see, Mr. Bully, you see, I agree they are in all the counties. Like that's the point where we try, because they had a number, but their number cannot take them to presidency. If like you just said, in the rest of the tribe, we just vote, and then we have Lucini Camara and the Muslims or the Mandingos just vote, and we compare the two votes, they don't have numbers to make them to carry any of their kinsmen as president. One thing that needs to be raised, like what you said, is that the mentalities of Muslims and Christians. We are religious. I mean, if you are religious people, we should understand that there's part of religious differences of people believing in Jesus Christ and other people believing in Muhammad. But let us agree that in politics, we look at national interest. We look at national interest. So if a Muslim man can make a difference for our country, yes, it's better that we make him president. But indeed, a lot of people in Liberia believe that these people, they are also selfish on the background. When the backdrop that, these people, when you are not part of their religion, because you see, segregations in religions is sometimes is what affecting them too. If you're not part of their tribe, like the Muslim, they're married to a Mandingo's man, they're married to a Muslim man.
But Steve,
from the onset, they will always say, if you are not a Muslim, you are down a Catholic. Now they will always restrain their daughters not even get along with any other tribe. So that divisions, that religious divisions are also bring stigmatizations against them. That other people say, okay, these people when they don't like us, they love themselves and they don't give all their children to marry to us, and also we cannot link with them. There are these underground fighters are coming from these kind of hatreds and kind of divisions that are taking place between the Muslims, and because they're always saying that whenever, I mean, Gole, that's a clear fact that Muslims will not, and even now is that you find that most of their children are going to school and they are learning to speak English and they are getting civilized, so they're not choosing their own choice. But before then, they will not allow their daughters to marry to any other tribe, and that's where the divisions came from.
Well,
so they don't impress people easily.
Let me disagree. Let me respectfully disagree with Mr. Gay here. Let me
Yeah.
respectfully disagree. You know, this is the mentality we've projected on Liberians. Who are Liberians? Who are Liberians? When you are Liberian regardless of your religion.
Good. I
Religion
agree.
cannot make you to not be Liberian.
I agree. Bullet.
I want to disagree with you that Muslims people or Mandingo people would say you can't marry their daughter or you can't do this or you can't do that. That's not the truth of the matter. Because every culture and tradition in Liberia has some form of restrictions. I know that for a fact in terms of marrying, and so there are some tribes they intermarry. For the most part, majority of them intermarry. One or two of them would marry other tribes. But in all sensible reasoning here, I was raised by a Muslim woman. I'm a Christian. Nobody ever forced me one day to go to the mosque. I'm a product of the religion Muslim. I am. So when somebody who is a Christian who do not understand how this religion works and come and want to lecture people about this religion only because some people have phobia towards this religion, then I'm taken aback. The only reason we've alienated and isolated our brothers and our sisters is either on a tribal line or on a religious line. And that's the truth of the matter. It's not about marriage. It's not about marriage. Torso.
But gentlemen, also let's bring the discussion back to Lieutenant Kamara.
No, and we're circling around Lieutenant Kamara. We're circling around Lieutenant Kamara because these are the fundamental problems.
So
these are the fundamental problems that will impact Lieutenant Kamara's chances of winning. Because this idea that first of all, Muslims are from different Mandingos are from different. These are some of the narratives that they pass around with. Look, Venton, I've never seen any group of people in my life that choose to do the wrong thing than Liberians and later on come and make excuses why they didn't do the right thing. We see somebody who is capable, you know what we look for? We say, oh, that man a Muslim male. When you do it, everybody will be praying in their country. Oh, those people there, they're civilized people, they're queer people, they're elites. They look for all the excuses. They don't look into, and later on, we expand on Peter Obi from Nigeria, and we see the contracts as to people that want to progress, that want to bring changes. We've passed this stage and the age of, oh, the person, you get married from the other tribe. What does it have to do? If someone is effective, why should religious affiliation stop us? So that is the only reason. That is why these are some of the reasons, two major factors. Because of religious reasons, Lieutenant Kamara will not win. The second factor is also because the Mandingos are divided. From a political standpoint, I will say again, on a religious standpoint, they are together. You can count on them. But from a political standpoint, they are divided, and politicians have divided them from the political line. And that's where we stand.
I agree with that. That on a political standpoint, they are divided. But Mandingos are part of, they are Liberians as well. A lot of Mandingos, they were born in Liberia. They know our culture. They speak like us. And not all Mandingos are Muslims. Some are Christian.
Right.
Yeah, some are Christian. Even though majority are Muslim, but some are Christian. They pretty much, from Nima, Grand Bassa, Montserrat. Even though they are not, they don't have specific content. They are scattered. Around the country, and but I don't think that we should discriminate, and put in a signs like, oh, these guys they are migrants or they coming from different country to take over our country. Even though we have not had a Muslim president, but there might be our chances. And but Steve, Mr. Gay, why did you say that Liberians are not ready yet to vote for a Muslim president? Politics is dynamics, they might not be together. quick, but they pretty much can assemble large crowds, and if they pretty much decide to, you know, hold the highest office of the land.
Yeah, you see, like I just said, Steve myself, we are agreeing on the point where, like, they are in bit and pieces. That's one, and the reason why they will continue to be a veterans in becoming or head of state is because they don't own a specific county to have a strength. They are all spread out, so they are being spread out, and that of looking at the numbers of people who are in Nima, and that of them, the numbers in Nima is greater than them. The number in Grand Bassa is greater than them. The number in Kemon is greater than them. So you follow that it happened. But my point here is that, like he just agreed and said, Lieutenant Kamala chances is not possible because of religious issues. Religious issue, right? Good. That's perfect. That's the underlying factors. But I'm telling you that the issues of intermarriage, this is the point in this about the third world or Iraq, that you found out that the Muslims or the Mandingos are allowing their children marrying to different tribes. Before then, no, it will not work. In fact, they will start threatening your daughter. And in fact, if you are a son that married to a Christian girl, in fact, they start threatening you. It becomes a serious issue. But trust me, they are my friend. They are one of the bases that are even dependent in Liberia. When I was in Liberia, I was given many times an invitation to attend their mosque, and most of them, even when I was deciding to be the senator after Georgia left, I was the one to be senator in Mustarada County. The first petition I was waiting came from the mosque, the Muslim. They are my best friend. I love them. And as some of us that understand that they are our brother come into power, we can unite the country. We can bring everybody together and erasing that mentalities and thinking that they are now our people. And let us also understand that they also need to know that Christian is not their enemy. Christian is their brother. And that Christian know that the Muslims, they are also brother to them. So we both can work together, despite our religious differences of people thinking a Christian and that of Muhammad and that of Jesus Christ. But let's understand, my father here is that we are looking at national interest that is above all. Yeah, religious, that's granted. We are guided by religious principles and policies. But let's also understand that we are also working on a trajectory of making our country a best country that we can live in. So if they can work together and get the person and say, look, we are all one people. And Lieutenant Camara should not rely on, yes, I have a malignant popularity, so I'm going to campaign there. You need to step out. You need to go beyond Muslims. You need to come with and say, I'm campaigning beyond Muslims mentality. I'm a Liberian. When you take a microphone as a Lieutenant Camara, anyone the county say, look, I'm not here because of Muslim. I'm not here because of Christian. I'm a Liberian. And I know that I love everyone. And we can make it different. But if you realize and think that, everybody of Muslim Camara camp, they are all comprised of social Muslim, and there's no different trap. And more than it began interplay with the minds of people and say, but that Muslim party there. It's not Muslim party, that's Liberian party. So you need to play a strategy where you need to incorporate every trap in his campaign, his base need to be decentralized, so that every county, every tribe will be part of his campaign, because they already have political differences. Religious differences. So if you bring as a Muslim, right? If you bring your party chairman having to be a Christian, and then you find out your campaign manager having to be a Christian, the deputy has to be a Muslim. This kind of political ideology. People feel part of your process. They feel that, this is not about Lieutenant Camara. But if Lieutenant Camara feel that, my party chairman is a Muslim man, or the campaign manager is a Muslim man, then if all of you just grab on one point and go in your county and say, we are come so that I can vote, the first thing that the Muslim people they say they can have. That's a mentality. So he need to play in that to be able to incorporate everybody. And when you incorporate everybody, look, he had a chance. It's a Liberian. Like I bought from Steve, we are Liberians. They are good people, trust me, but we need to work it out together. All Liberians need to think is that the survivability of our country, the best interest of our country, is not individual. It's not individual interest. It's the interest of the country. So if someone can make it work for us, yeah, we can support it. That the president can make it work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your input, Mr. Gay, Steve Gay, and also Steve Boley. Very interesting discussion on Lucina Camara and also Jeremiah Koung. Let's move forward to something else here. But first, we'd like to recognize our sister, Cindy Martin. She's watching. And how you doing? And feel free to participate. And I think she made some comments here. I'm not sure if you guys want to respond to that here, but maybe it's just general here. Let's see what she said first. She said, what she said, they are not allowing you to sleep with their daughters for pennies and free. I think she was referring to the discussion when you guys were talking about Mr. Kamar. And also she said, what is civilization to you? Any of you guys want to respond to any of our comments, or we should move forward?
I don't know, but I can say something about that. But I can say something a little bit. Let me see. I'm not getting your idea a little bit.
I would move forward.
Tell a little bit what she really.
No, I think she was just making a statement when you guys saw arguing about, the Muslim and being Mandingo and affiliating with Muslim, and so she went ahead and made a comment. But let's move forward here. So, what do you guys make about the recent statement from the ambassador in Liberia? So we will start with. But she said she would like an answer. So so you guys want to respond to her because she said I would like an answer. So let's try to respond to her comments before.
So I think the issue of civilization.
Get a statement back on the page. Let's see.
Okay. She said, "What is civilization to you?" Based on our discussion.
I think the issue of civilization over the past years in Liberia has been mostly associated with education, which they've changed now from Congo and country to civilized, or they call them elites. And this is how these are statements. Okay, she said she was speaking in context of intermarriage.
Yes.
But these statements are meant to create segregation, division, and so forth. So in terms of intermarriage in Liberia, they're used to stigmatize certain group of people, for different reasons, to alienate, isolate, and so forth. That is the major reason, nothing else.
Steve, Mr. Gay, go ahead.
Before she come to what is civilizations to you?
Yeah, in terms of intermarriage.
For me, like you just said, civilizations is about decency. It's about sound thinking. It is about realizing the fact that you can also live with someone. You can also make a better environment in the way you think everybody can feel part of the society. And I think it's mostly our civilizations. And our discussions come to intermarry, like what my brother Bole said. It's about other people just, stay away from certain people. But these are all religious, or like you said, phobia, religious issues and religious differences. But we are saying that our civilizations is living together and making the environment better for each and every one of us, and sound mind of thinking, to contribute to the quest of the nation. So I think relationship with each other build a very good civilization, a civilized life. Yeah.
Thank you. And just to add on there, yeah, in terms of intermarriage, civilization is advancement and
Mhm.
cultural advancement with regards to interracial marriage as well. So looking at him being from the Muslim, background, I don't think we should dwell on that to not maybe support him. But if he form a strong alliance with his people, you know, like I said, Mandingos, they don't have to be from a specific country in order to be a president of Liberia, because they are scattered around the country. So that even make them more stronger, and that even make them have bases in all the 15 counties. So with his strong alliance, he can be able to mobilize a strong team, depending on how well he execute his campaign, depending on how well he put forth his campaign strategies. So, but Liberians should pretty much erase that's why I would say status quo of, oh, this man is Mandingo done. He's not from Liberia. He's from somewhere else and migrated to Liberia. No, they make part of our culture. They advance in our culture. They are contribute to our economy. So yeah, so they are part of us. They speak just like us. So that stigma of, oh, you are Mandingo man, you from a different part of the world, but you just came in a country. We should erase that. Yeah.
True.
So I
True.
think Lucina Camara, even though he does not stand huge chances because he's not popular, but I think when he do his groundwork, he work hard. He pretty much um, have the right strategists around him. He can pretty much stand a chance. The Mandingo people have a huge population in Liberia as well. They are all over in the 15 counties. Okay, so gentlemen, anything else you guys want to add to that?
No, we can make progress. I think pretty much the rest of it will be we will be keeping into it. Uh, my brother want to attend to some emergency. I think so. But we let us continue on the maybe
Okay,
he can the next one he can make a point saying he's going to attend to some emergency urgently, so that then like the rest can leave with me and then we can end the show.
okay, yeah, yeah. It's 10:18. The show is 2 hours here, so
Yeah, I
if
know.
you have to go due to emergency, feel free. And we will continue on the other discussions here. So let's move forward here to the recent statement from the deputy ambassador in Liberia. So before you leave, Mr. Bullet, do you want to weigh in on that?
Yes, since you're putting me on the spot, let me. Um,
Which
I,
one of
I,
you have an emergency that have to leave?
I will leave 15 minutes early, like I said.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, so go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and
So,
we'll.
so hopefully I will have the opportunity to weigh in on this and then weigh in on the last subject.
How sure are you?
To leave. But in terms of the U.S. and then so first of all, let's lay the basis for what brought this conversation. The U.S. would say assisting ambassador, but normally determined as deputy, for diplomatic language sake. But we would say in our Liberian the assisting ambassador, the man next to the U.S. ambassador in Liberia. He was invited to Cottontown, University, basically to be the guest speaker there for, on a total different things, not necessarily related to the sanctioned people or whatever it is. He's a diplomat, and
So
so
are we talking about Michael McCarty or
no, we're talking about the U.S. in the assisting ambassador, and
or
I'm
the
Michael McCarty, the
okay?
deputy, the guy who we his name is Joel Milberry. So Joel Milberry was invited to Cottontown to speak actually. So it was his first, public lecture. He was talking about global affairs and policy. to the Cottonton School of Graduate and Professional Studies in Koung. So part of global studies, international relations, communications, or whatever not, he brought in this conversation about the Liberian government holding accountable the 5 people that were sanctioned. That includes Prince Johnson. And the 5 people that got sanctions on them are Vani Sherman, Biotwawe, Serena Sifos, Prince Johnson, and Nathaniel McGill. So he was encouraging the Liberian government to not just say it in the mouth. They need to take action. They need to do something. In other words, the judicial branch of government, they need to bring these people to book, hold them accountable. And if they want any kind of information from the U.S. government for which they sanction them, then the U.S. government is open to work with them to say these are our facts, these are our evidences, because the burden of proof lies on us now, because we sanction these people and lay the allegation against them. So what it says to me in 2 folds is, number one, it says that the current Liberian government, led by President George Weah, they're not serious on the issue of accountability, justice, holding people accountable, or even addressing the issues of corruption. They're not serious. Nathaniel McGill was the deputy, was the what they call minister to George Weah. He's a high-ranking official. Today, he got sanctioned. George Weah can't even hold him accountable. George Weah promised the Liberian people in August that there was going to be an investigation, and then it will follow from there. Nothing has happened since then. We are a year and plus now. Nothing has happened. Not now, a few months. We're a couple of months back. Nothing has happened. But not only that, the second part I see in this particular statement is when the United States warns you or brings up something more than once and you don't take action, they will take action. And I think that's the path we're on. I wouldn't be surprised if they refuse to even fund our elections or be part of it. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys register to run in the election will choose to allow them to run. Because Nathaniel McGill wants to run in Magibi. Piotr wants to run in Riverside. Can you imagine? So we have a problem on our hands. And we have a serious problem with our odious ally, odious partner, the people that have helped us in many different ways. So this is the problem we have at hand. And this current government, led by President George Weah, they got no spine. They don't want to do what is right. They want to play games.
Thank you for your input, Mr. Steve Gay. Your thoughts?
With the issue of integrity, I think it matters most. Integrity for our country. And fighting corruption in our country, or fighting or placing our country on a right trajectory, meaning it requires decisions and the hard decisions that you need to take as a man. It doesn't matter your relationship with people or who brought you to power or not, but the fact of the matter is that you should set a precedent. And if you set a precedent, then you are also giving, it will not be for you, and it might not have the right effect on your government, but the next government, the next generations will imitate from you and say, look, when this man was a president, he set this example, and I think I will follow suit. And so, but what I do know about Liberia is that we have the mind of just imitating a wrong path, a wrong directions, or people just do something and go with impunity, which is wrong. And I don't think it needs to be supported. And the issue of Nathaniel McGill's bill trial is critical in the country. And I think by now, I expecting that the Liberian government should make a decision and inform decisions that will help people to know exactly what will happen. You cannot leave it in limbo, because if you are a government and then a statement comes from the United States Treasury that if people are corrupt in your government, and then you decided to lay them out. It's not about laying them out. It's about going after this information to prove it. You have to make sure that they are brought to book. You have to make sure to find out where the source is from and how. And if you know, because it will implicate President Weah. If President Weah will sit back, this is why the deputy ambassador said that's integrity issues. Up to present, they have not made decisions. They are not taking any decision about it. It's been long. It's not about saying, okay, leave my government. But what precedent do you set? Now, the precedent will be, is it right of what he did? Now, if you think that is wrong and you decide to let them go, then you need to go after that integrity to make sure you build it in your country. The way to build it is to bring them to book. Now, Liberia, we don't care about integrity, but integrity is important. Politics is not the way people understand politics and the way I understood politics is a different thing. Politics is integrity building. It's not just rhetoric, like what Liberian think it be. But listen to the Western world. People make politics based upon or your politics is based upon policy. Your politics or your politicking should be based upon policy. And also based upon integrity. But in our country, Liberia, they don't care about integrity. No matter who you are, as long as you come over to them, like I was saying the last time about Georgia being elected, coming this election, and my brother was saying it's not true, but watch and see, this is how Liberian thing. We don't care about integrity. Whatever the person is doing wrong to us, when at that movement, they man can offer me and can't come with me let eat. And after eating, I'm done with that. I don't care whether you're going to have or effect on me, but I don't care. So it's important right now for the government of Liberia. I want to buy the ideas and I want to buy the views of the ambassador that President Weah should make sure to go after the information and make sure that this information is proven and clear and these guys are brought to book. If they are a best of public fund, they must be this fund will be refunded. This fund will be refunded. Now, they are now going to election commission. Election commission, you stay watching there and giving the people an opportunity to vote. And this same thing happened in Lofa County. You sat there when Brian Samuka took the AFL money. Then you election commission, you allow him to go into election. Now, time for result, you come back to say he will not make it. Now, why are we joking with the country for? Let us set the integrities into a right path, a right page that anyone can build on next time. So now Nathan Magee is going in the red after this kind of allegation. Are we making international community trust our country? Are we being serious around here as a Liberian? Do we mean well for the country, or do you want people to just circle around wealth? You know, they continue to be rich and continue to enjoy popular fund. What difference would they make when they were in government? So what difference in Liberian thing they're going to make if they are senator? What's the difference? Oh, you just want to keep the man to be rich, right? You want to keep him to be rich. You want to continue to get money. You want to continue to get money. So you have real sucker politicians in like one country there. They are just around government over and over and over. Like we were talking about Joseph Barker. You spent 40 some more years in government. Why you can't stay safe? What you want? What are you looking for? You got young smart Liberians coming out. They'll make him be a doctor. They come have a doctor degree. You still have one old man sitting down there. You don't even give him a chance to come and perform. Are we serious? They didn't make him. But the people in Liberia contest.
Go ahead.
The rainfall. He now follow the bucket. That they do here coming for a bucket. Maybe because the Nathan Mangel have the Nathan Mangel was the president. I will put it in this way in Liberia. He was the decision. Many times I talk to Georgia, you refer me to Nathan Mangel. I speak to Georgia personally. You all refer me to Mangel. Go to Mangel. Go to Maggie. Because you always call him Maggie. Go to Maggie. So Nathan Mangel was making decisions more than even the president. And if you cannot make impact in that positions, if you're being senator, that's why they believe you come and change the country. You were closer to the president, and you didn't bring up ideas that could perform and make impact. And now you have been figured out. You have been handpicked as a corrupt government officials of the country. You're being senator. Is that what you want to, or you want to defend yourself, or you need a position that will guard you? You need a position where you will be in that position, like what we say about Prince Johnson. He became senator of Nima County. He kept himself in that position and defending himself. Nobody can touch him. Nobody can say anything to him. He's a senator, yes. It's not a position, it's integrity. So these guys, the election commission should deny them. And I wanted to have a special platform on that, so that let's make them understand them or deny them. Then I know that what they did against our country is unacceptable, is unprecedented, and we should not give them the opportunities in the space of our politics in our country. No, we must not. We must not. Okay, let them go to court. Let them take the American government to court. Let them go to work court and tell them that the people place the allegation against us. We want to set ourselves free. What is their own decisions? Or they don't want to run around and be senator because they want to keep in the wealth of what they've been enjoying. No. Somebody else can be senator. None of them are been around government for long. He stayed with Georgia. He got a lot of money. Now you go sit there and enjoy your money. That different person become senator or Mangibi County. You think Mangibi County is being drained?
So you think due to this sanction here, and you think this will affect President we are being re-elected?
It's one of the factors.
If his administration does not investigate and follow up on this sanction, do you think that will pretty much play a role where maybe the U.S. must make sure, or they will make sure that President George Weah is not re-elected?
I mean, that alone can bring the government to this need. That alone. Because like I said the last time on my show, I mean, not my show, but our interview for Liberia. Many times, most of the radio stations call me in the US here to get my view on some of the politicals or funding in Liberia. And I said, I mean, oppositions, you all need to come together. This is a stepping stone for opposition. That information alone is a stepping stone for you. You can capitalize on it and succeed. Just that information. Because you've been saying that people, they are corrupt, and they are being proven. So leave the division among yourself. You leave power. You leave who is not who. You govern yourself. And based upon this information that has been put out, it's a setback to the government. If it was my government, I will make sure that I bring the guys to book so that I can set the precedent and also clear the air for my people. I mean, for the country, in another nation, or the world, you know that I'm against this attitude and I'm not in support of them. But you can't let them go free. So how can we know that this what was said was true or not true? These guys were censored. So let's also understand. I will get some analysis again. You see why Nima County has not benefited anything from Prince Joseph? Just the mere representation because the man cannot lobby anywhere. He cannot lobby anywhere. The reason why you make people senator, representative, is for them to advocate for you, to speak for you. They need to get out there, find, or investors, bring some, donors, bring some investors, bring some companies, private companies, bring them into your county. Make sure that your people are employed with this company. Lobby around for different opportunities, business opportunities around the world. But if you are confined, then you are senator. Not only get become senator, whenever Moses Magibi County. You will go Moses, you'll be Moses from there, Magibi County. From there, Moses Magibi County. So what good does it do to the people? What dividend are they going to get out of him if you have been senator that he cannot go anywhere to lobby it? So what they think they want to achieve if he become senator? No, that's not. Yeah.
Well, he have the 14 counties, so maybe he by not lobby out of the country, he will stay right in Liberia and do his thing.
Like how? How that going to work? How that going to play? How that going to play? Because listen, there are a lot of opportunities. Like some of us that come to outside world, we are not come just to marry me. We are come to see what is happening around the world. That we can put this idea together and make those, those changes. What we see outside there, we can take it back to our home and make our country better. So if you sit there and you know that opportunities is out there, you need to get out there so that you can bring opportunity back to your people. Now, Side Joseph can leave and come America here and get buses paid and travel back in there and split buses on the field and employ drivers and conductors. They are all opportunity for people. Yes, he get out there and get medication and get there and do that drug. He got the nurse from hospital bed to one print door clinic. He took it from America here. He's a senator. How would this guy go outside, lobby for hospital bed, lobby for drugs in other country, and bring it to your country and say, look, the hospital in Magibi County, I gave you 100 hospital beds. In fact, the school, I provide buses for the college university. Those are impact. That's why you become senator of the county. But if you not get out and you are not confined only in Musrado and that only Magibi County or Bill Travel who is going refugee, he's going to only be in refugee there and he's not going out to lobby. What dividends do they give back to the people?
So what about the former Solicitor General Serena Cephas?
That alone, I know it's serious. Liberians, this is very serious because a Solicitor General of the country is a man of integrity.
Right.
It's a man who executes judgment and justice for the country. It's the man who fight crimes.
But these guys, they and George Opon, they are all part of the same clique. They say birds with the same feather flock together. So do you think that Opon have the audacity to follow up investigating these guys?
I mean, I may think no, I've not seen it. And the reason why I'm not seeing it, and if he just relax his mind and say, okay, let me just let him go. Since I'm getting out of my government, it's right. The best thing I can do is to get him out of my government. You get him out of your government. So another person tomorrow will come and say, look, okay, you appoint Steve Gay as Minister of Finance. I go there and take a lot of money, and I'm also censor and say, Steve, leave. And I go to my village and sit down. John Brown is agriculture minister, took you the money. He said, leave my government. Okay, people say, okay, I think that's the best way we can get rid of ourselves. Or just $3 million or $4 million that get into my ministry. Let me just take it and then moving from here. And everybody taking and moving from there. Is that helping the country? Because there's no precedent. There is no precedent. We should set a precedent in the country. We should set a caveat for the next generation. If you become a government, your work is to set a precedent that other government will come and follow. A legacy that other can build on.
So, Mr. Gay, if Opon is re-elected, are you planning on to go back to being part of the CDC, or you're just going to be an advisor? What is your plan if he is reelected?
For one part is I'm out of CDC. If I had interest, I would stay in Liberia. There are a lot that took place for which I decided not. I mean, I had a statement on Front Page Africa.
Right.
I got a newspaper right with me here. And I talk about my life is not even safe with the kind of comment. I got people sending me pictures when Molu removed me from my position. When I traveled, when I was in Liberia, Molu made a lot of attempts. I know that you are dragging around why I left CDC. Those are questions that you dangling around. But I'm not afraid to say those things. But I come in.
Did he remove you, or you just resign?
I did not. When I left, I know there were a lot of crises, there are a lot of fights, there are a lot of things that happen that I think I just choose to just leave. Because I know I could not bear it anymore. Of course, I could not bear those things anymore. And when I left, I came here 1 week. I saw on a page appointing a new person from Lofa, his own a boys that can be around here. Yeah. He told one person to be in national health. So that was lovable. But I don't want us to go deep to that because it will take special time for that. Okay, that would be good. But yeah, but I'm saying it was lovable.
Yeah, we will. We will take special time to dive.
You cannot remove, let's see, you cannot remove somebody with a master's degree and bring somebody who's a 6th grade student into that position. Are you serious?
I think maybe you guys have some disagreement, and
although they have their disagreement, they have their saying, but nobody can point their hand in CDC and say, Seagate did one, he did that one against anybody. I'm an easygoing guy. I don't have a problem with nobody. But I feel to myself that, okay, I think they put on me. Because I serve the government I serve the party diligently. And we need to just, feel that they don't even know me and behave like that you don't care. And when I came to the US, and a lot of insults were thrown at me, and a lot of things were said. And so I left.
So will you return for the election in October?
I don't have the plan for that right now.
Okay, but we will dive.
This year is not even 20. It's not even 5 years from now. I'm not prepared for that.
Well, we will set a.
Yeah, I don't prepare for Liberia. I'm not prepared for Liberia.
Right now. Dive into more discussion about why you left the CDC.
I don't want to discuss my going to Liberia. I'm not had a plan right now.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
In fact, since I came, my doctor have been telling me, okay, you got to hold on. Like today again, I was at the hospital. He was talking with me. He said, Steve, you got to hold on because you had a medical problem that we need to really pay attention to. So let me look at my health status first.
Yeah, your health comes first.
Yeah, my health comes first.
Yeah, your health comes first.
Yeah, that's my concern right now. It's not about it's not about government. I don't care for that right now.
But you still have long time. You still have long time. I know you are a very ambitious individual. You still have long time to decide if you're going to go back and pretty much assess things. But thank you, Steve. Let's before we close here. Right now it's 10:43. We have 15 more minutes. Making other news here. Let's dive into the election. Nigeria is one of the most popular country in Africa, and one of the superpower. They will be having an election this coming Saturday, February 25th. So let's just play something here from CNN, and then we can talk about it a little bit here. Then we can end the show. All right, so let's put this on the screen here.
Nigeria's economy is teetering on the brink of financial collapse. Skyrocketing public debt and criminals stealing hundreds of thousands of barrels of oil every day from the nation's primary source of income. And a recent attempt to redesign a currency led to a cash crisis and widespread frustration, leaving people queuing for hours to get their own money.
All right, Steve, are you there?
Mm.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, thank you here. So making other news here, we see that Africa's most populated and also popular country, Nigeria, is going to have the largest democratic election this coming Saturday, the 25th. They have 18 presidential candidates, but they have about three who's pretty much in the front. And what do you think about this election? You think it's going to be peaceful, and especially looking at the incumbent is not going to be participating because he's already done his two term, and they have three candidates that is pretty much the front runner, and they don't have an incumbent. They don't have no military leader this time, and these guys are in a one is 75, one is 61, and one is I think 70. So you think this is going to be a peaceful election?
I see a bit of challenge, especially I see the young people rising to the occasion. Yeah, I've seen a lot of young people rising to the occasion, especially where they are in strong support of Mr. Obi.
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah,
Obi, yeah.
Peter Obi. Peter Obi is like gaining a lot of momentums with support based upon a lot of integrity about financial best practices in his career, and he been very supportive to a lot of young people, and so I see that young people want to seize these occasions to bring on board a young person, especially where you are going against someone who is in the 70s. And so many young people this time around are rising up to the occasion. And so Mr. Obi, in my mind, have the chance. He have a stronger chance, especially from the vote-rich region. And he been highly supported by Christian religious. And the religious, like we said, with the Muslims and other Christians here, have a major factor to place in politics. And in Nigeria, the issue of Boko Haram with their link with the Muslims in Nigeria, stigmatized the Muslims in Nigeria, and that was the difference between them and Christian. Like I was telling our brother, Mr. Bola here, that fighters will also cause a problem for a lot of Muslims around the world now. And so I've seen that Mr. Obi is standing a real chance. I may not know in details of other political parties, but from what I've been reading on social media and following up with Mr. Obi, and I think he's getting up in a good chance to succeed.
Thank you for your input. But we will continue to monitor the election in Nigeria. We will do breaking news. Yeah. And so your prediction is Peter Obi, the 61-year-old. You think he will excel and be the next president of Nigeria? Because definitely. Right now he's being supported by over 34 to 35 million young folks. Just like when Obama was running, all the young people were motivated on social media, and that's what's going on with him. But in the latest poll, he pretty much took the lead. So let's continue to monitor the election. I hope it is very peaceful, because Nigeria is a very popular country, and one of Africa's, populated and
populated
country.
And I mean, I'm not cutting it off. We need to pray. We need to pray so that it can be peaceful, because it's like it's turning religious, and if it is turning religious, then it's
most of Nigerian past leaders been Muslim, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have they even had a Christian leader? I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure about that. But this time around, it's like it turning religious, and I think the young people, even the other young people who are even the Muslims are also, because they look at, like I just said here earlier, that the recycling politicians around Africa, people are getting fed up with them. People are getting fed up with them. It's not about old age. The perception people have before then in politics is that you're too young to be in politics. They're to suppress you. They're doing it to suppress you, to kill your visions. And in fact, they made the presidential so scary, so it looks so difficult for young men to rise to occasion and say, look, I'm going to take this occasion. Like someone else coming on board now. Was oh, you're too young for that, and there's all the people think, it's you need hope. It's not about old man. It's about the logic.
Most African leaders want to, stay there until the 70s, 80s. They like to go by the tradition. They say that's the status quo, but they don't know now we are trying to rise above the status quo. But thank you for your thought, your perspective today. The show was pretty good, and we'll follow up on the Nigeria election coming this Saturday here. We hope it's very peaceful, and to our fellow Nigerians. Well, thank you very much. Any closing statement tonight?
Okay, like I said, I don't know if we have a lot of comments there. There are some that we need to talk about, and a comment there that we can talk about.
No, we don't have much comment here. It was just the comment we responded to from Cindy Martin. And then Sierra came in. She said, I'm watching from Texas. And she said, I missed most of the discussion. So maybe she might go back and watch the entire segment here. But you can go ahead with your closing statement.
All right, thank you. First of all, I want to say a very big thank you to our listeners and the viewers on this show. It will be every Thursday, 9 o'clock. Just keep it and save the time so that you can join us. We also need your expertise. It's not that we have all of the ideas or we know everything. That's why we are here. But we want to also share idea with you with our political thought and our analysis on our global politics and our nation, especially Liberia, where we all love. And trust me, I'm passionate about country, Liberia. And I know one of these days we'll discuss me in particular. And we have a lot of ideas coming up, a lot of things. But while I'm still here and not even having the time to get on the feet yet, we'll also be giving up some ideas and speaking on some of the differences. And so I think I enjoyed the show tonight with my brother Bullet.
Yeah.
He's going to be director very soon, and so we appreciate that. So, I mean, these kind of people, we need to give them the space to come and perform their expertise. And so that's why we're going around the world to look for people who have ideas and come and contribute. And so, again, let me condemn the act of the murders that is continuing to take place in Liberia. I wanted to have a special show on that. And then discuss also why there are so many deaths going on in Liberia. What is the reason of this killing that's going on in Liberia?
We can schedule that for next week.
Yeah, we can dive into that for next week, so that we can talk about our country. Why people are just dying? Why kill people? And it's scary, for people to go back, especially with us or being objective, with issues, and then I disagree with people with high power and having differences with them and all of these stuff. So, I mean, it raises eyebrow when you see people every day in the street of Monrovia. You see a dead body. This person died. Especially the magistrate that disappeared in Grand Gide, who happened to be electoral magistrate. That was so scary. And these are just all government officials, the auditors, electoral magistrates, and all the kind of people that are dying.
We will dive into that. That's a good discussion. We will dive into that next week for 2 hours. We will still add some key political players and do some assessment on them, and also talk about some current events. Hey, but my friend, get some rest. You looking good, but you look a little bit tired. Get some rest. Go by what the doctors say, because I really need your expertise on the show next week. Thank you very much for coming on. Your input is relevant, and also big thanks and appreciation to Mr. Steve Bully as well. had an emergency, had to go. And thank you guys. We really appreciate that. Also, special thanks to our viewers and who always participate in these conversations. You know, your input is relevant. Your questions are all relevant, and this is a learning process. Once again, this is a network that been around for 3 years, but this is a new page. You know, usually I used to do the interview from a personal page, but my personal page is still being utilized actively, but mostly for posting. So we're trying to grow this other page, current situation media. So continue to share. We will continue to be on this page until we see that elevation. You know, we're going to be consistent. The election is in October. We're going to continue to dive and talk about it every Thursday. As time gets closer, maybe we might start talking about it maybe twice a week. But for now, welcome here to Current Situation Media, Diaspora Liberian Political Spotlight. It's going to be one of the hottest talk show on current situation and on social media. So, my friend, salute, merci, and bonne nuit.
Merci, merci, merci. Bonne nuit aussi.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
All
bye bye.
right. Yeah. So, thank you guys very much for tuning in here. So, we will be back on Monday. Monday, we have some special interview. We'll be back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday is current situation, GGAA prime time. I know there's a lot of breaking news in the Grand Judicial Association of Americas in the community. A lot of breaking news. We will talk about that on Tuesday as well. And but we're gearing up for the weekend. The weekend in Des Moines, Iowa is going to be pretty much fantastic. It's going to be good social vibes, and we're gearing up. But thanks, and be safe and drive carefully. And the rules are bad out there, especially in Minnesota. I would like to tell the people of Minnesota, stay strong, and we wish you guys safe, safe movement. And we understand that the winter storm, the snow, and the roads are very slippery, icy. So drive with caution, and walk also with caution. Yeah, be very courageous as well. Yeah, but we can't wait to get rid of this or be done with this winter and be ready for summer or be ready for spring and summer. Yeah, but we can't wait. But thank you guys. We're gonna continue the show every Tuesday. Not every Tuesday. Thursday is Diaspora Liberians Political Spotlight, where we discuss issues concerning Liberia. And Tuesday is current situation GGAA prime time, where we talk about the Grand Judicial Association in the Americas. Wednesday is ladies' night. We talk about relationship topic, and then Monday and we do some interview as needed. Then Friday and Saturday we are at social events and doing live broadcast as well, interviewing folks. So yeah, so we are busy, and we also do the network also does graphic design. We print T-shirts, we do high graphics, we build website, and we do letterheads. We also do wedding invitations, backdrops, and a lot of digital work, video production. So let us know. And the number is 515-326-1905. So it's also on the current situation page. And we'll also continue to put the number up here. So you can contact us on Facebook. We are live streaming from Facebook and YouTube. All right. So those are on YouTube. You can also tune into the live segment. So until then, have a wonderful weekend. It's going to be a fabulous weekend. We are at the end of the month. So, and this year is going so fast. But we also got to embrace ourselves, and we got to be on a pace, a comfortable pace, even though the year is going fast. But just because someone is driving fast, that does not mean you should drive faster than that person. No, it's called a comfortable pace. Life is all about being comfortable in your own lane. Just because Paul is going 95, you mean you should go 100, or I want to catch up with Paul. No, you don't know what it takes for Paul to accelerate to 95. So just pretty much accelerate comfortably, something where you'll be able to have control of your life and control of the wheel. All right. Well, à tout à l'heure. Bonne nuit.